Welcome to Later is Greater, Women Over 60 Embracing Life. If this is your first time on the podcast, my name is Stella. I'm a self-published author, transformation coach, and personal trainer. I'm so glad you chose to be here today because we are continuing the conversation around living authentically, and today it's all about settling, or rather, not settling. Do you ever feel like life hasn't turned out the way you imagined it would? Like somewhere along the way, you started settling for good enough instead of reaching for what truly makes you happy? Came across this amazing TED Talk by Bevi Smith, and it really opened my eyes as to how often we settle. We don't settle because we want to, but because we think it's too late to start over or too hard to change our life. Bevi Smith's story is a beautiful reminder that we can rewrite our lives at any time. Bevi was living this fabulous life on the outside, high-level person in the fashion industry. But inside, she felt that she was just playing a role. She realized she was settling for a life that looked good to others, but didn't feel good to her. How many of us have done the same? I know I have. Maybe we settled into a career because it felt safe, had the right benefit package, or we stayed in a relationship because we didn't want to rock the boat. There's probably other reasons, but let's leave it there. Bevi's story reminds us that settling is not the same as living, and it's never too late to break free. The first thing we need to do is recognize when we are settling. We need to be honest with ourselves. Ask yourself, am I living a life that truly fulfills me, or have I settled into something that's just good enough? Bevi teaches us that recognizing the difference is key to unlocking real happiness. I know it's scary to say, I want something different, especially if you've been doing this, whether it's a wife, mother, caregiver, employee, for decades. But here's the truth. You don't need anyone's permission to pursue your dreams. And most importantly, you owe it to yourself. What I like so much about her story is that she did not make these changes until she was in her 50s. How many women have we talked about who have thrived and rose to stardom in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond? Well, Bevi is thriving today. She is an author, she's a television host, she is a radio host, she's outstanding. So age is not a limitation. Age is an advantage. We have wisdom and resilience to make big changes if we want to. By the time you reach 60, think of it. How many times have you had to push through something you didn't want to do? You found a way and you did it, and you moved on with your life. Well, this is no different, except it has to do with what really lights you up, makes a life change. This is not a mani-pedi. This is not going to the spa. This is an entire life change. It's something that you have to think about. Think about exactly what you want. And this is the next important step. You've got to be honest about what you want. And ask yourself this cliche question. If I wasn't worried about what others would think, what would I do differently? What makes me come alive? You know, we all do things that we feel trapped. We have to do this because we've been doing it for the past few decades. And we have so much responsibility that if we don't do it, who's going to do it? This isn't something that you're going to do overnight. You need to have difficult conversations with the people around you and tell them what your plan is and what you are offering and how they can change what their everyday life is like to accommodate your goals. I mean, why not? You've devoted your life to other people. It's not a big ask. And when we stop living for others and start living for ourselves, that is when true transformation happens. That is where your joy lives. Perhaps you have been a caretaker for so long, or you've been looking after your family all these decades, you have forgotten what it feels like to take care of yourself. Or maybe you've been in a job or a relationship out of obligation. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is perfectly okay to let go of roles that don't align with who you are anymore. Again, it's not something that you walk into your boss's office and say, I quit. You get to be strategic about this. After all, we have lived to be 60 and managed so many different roles along the way. We know how to be strategic. We know how to take one step to lead to the other. This is what I'm talking about. You need to plan it. It's good for you and it's good for the people around you so that everyone can adjust. So what I'm saying is take small, bold steps towards your dreams. You cannot and you should not overhaul your life overnight. Start small. It could be something as simple as saying no to things that drain you, signing up for a photography class, signing up for a course in college, exploring a new hobby, or how about taking a course that would give you a certification for a career that you would love to do? There's unlimited options. I know someone who's planning to start a foodie YouTube channel with her best friend. They haven't started or launched yet, but they're putting the plan together, and it's so wonderful to see them light up in their lives because they have all this enthusiasm. It may take them 6 months to do it, but time is going to pass anyway. Every step you take away from settling is a step towards thriving. Settling might feel comfortable, but it isn't where your joy lives. When we stop settling and start embracing our true selves, that is when life becomes magical. I know this because I have been there. I was in a difficult marriage for 25 years. I put everyone else's needs ahead of my own and juggled difficult circumstances. But one day, I allowed myself to dream again and to think about what I wanted, how I wanted the rest of my life to pan out. Because at that time, I was 60. This is when I discovered the book Boundaries by Henry Cloud and John Townsend. I'm linking that below because it will change your life like it changed mine. I saw my life on the pages of every single chapter. It's such an important aspect of our life that we completely ignore. And it transformed my life almost immediately. But it did take me several months. And to be honest, I must have read the book over and over, maybe 6 times before the whole concept began to sink in. Another tool that helped me immensely, it was so wonderful, The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beattie. It's a book, but it's also an app for 365 days of encouragement. I have that app for nearly a decade, and I still refer to it. I'll link that book down below for you to have your own explorations. Little by little, I discovered a whole new world of possibilities. You can do the same. Oh, and as a side note, people who knew me back then, while I was in this difficult marriage, have literally walked right by me in the store or on the street. They don't even recognize me. I have not only changed my life, but my physical appearance has changed. I'm who I've always wanted to be. I can't tell you what a tremendous feeling that is. There's no price you can put on that. This was a 7-year journey for me. I compiled all the tools that I used and put it into a life reinvention kit. There's a preview in the description box if you want to have a look. So, what is one area of your life where you might be settling? Just one. I'm sure there's more. What is one small, viable step that you can take today to start living the life you want, your authentic life? If you want to let me know in the comments, I'd love to cheer you on. If this message fills your heart with hope, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and check out Bevy Smith's TED Talk. It's linked in the description. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm happy that you stopped by and took time out of your busy day to listen in. It means a lot to me to encourage women of my generation to step into their power and live a fulfilled life. I'll be waiting for you in the next episode. Until then, have an empowered week.